Hey guys, my name's AJ, and I'm here to ramble for a bit. So, my Rechain of Memories playthrough will be starting tomorrow, as well as my Higurashi Chapter 3 playthrough starting on Tuesday. But I never got the chance to do this during my KH1 playthrough, so I want to talk about my experiences with the Kingdom Hearts series, how I became a fan, all that. This is gonna be completely unscripted, so I'm gonna ramble for a bit, and if I stumble on words or not, I apologize. But looking back, I believe Kingdom Hearts 1 is some of my first memories of my life. My father, um, he was a Final Fantasy fan, and I've been a Disney fan since I was little. I am maybe a hashtag low-key and a Disney adult. um, but one of my first memories of life is watching my dad play Kingdom Hearts 1 on PS2 around like 2004. And then Sora, Donald, and Goofy is about to face off against Cerberus, and I got so hyped, I stood up really fast, and I knocked over a table that had milk on it. We had to clean it up. That's like a distinct memory burned into my head. I can remember the living room and everything. I also remember him looking at me like, oh my god, when Sora became Heartless. And I also remember I got like a really shitty Keyblade replica that I kept around for years and years, even though it was breaking apart. And this was all pre-K. This was all before I started kindergarten. I can't really remember where it goes from there. That's like, I know that's the starting point. And like, that's like, outside of like SpongeBob and maybe Star Wars, that's like the first real franchise I still like, that wasn't like a kid's show like Blue's Clues, that like has stuck with me for so long. And I already told you why I've been enchanted by it all. Chain of Memories, I have a GBA version of Calm. I'm not sure when I got it. I've had it for a while, but I never beat it. I never beat Chain of Memories, or any version of Chain of Memories, until it came out in 1.5, because I was like, ew, cards. The furthest I ever got in GBA Calm was like, I think the second floor. Like, I got to the start of the third floor because I just didn't know how to slide, and I was like, I barely beat Hades. I also remember I could not do the dodge roll tutorial whatsoever. I believe in GBA Calm, you have to double press the left or right on the D-pad, and like, I remember being stuck there for ages and ages. I don't know, Kid Me was not the best of video games, as she played mostly licensed PlayStation 2 games. I guess Cage kind of falls under that, if you really think about it. Cage 2, I assume we must have gotten it, like, around the time. This is still me watching my father play games. He got it first, and, like, I guess he must have got it around the time the game came out. Because I remember we also look at each other like, oh my god, Roxas has a Keyblade one that materializes during day 1. Outside of that, I cannot remember any of my initial memories of KH1. I got Rechain of Memories for the PS2. I believe the year came out. Like, yeah, I have my copy right here. And once again, I never played it or beaten it until 1.5 came out. But I have played the PS2 Rechain of Memories before. It's nice having like the original Cage trilogy PS2 games on my shelf. By the way, these songs are from the Kingdom Hearts Piano Collection. Really nice. I recommend you check them out if you haven't. So, where did it go from there? So, this is where we're entering the handheld era, which I will talk more in detail later in the series. But Days, I remember seeing adverts for Days. I was already in my, like, the place I would live for the rest of my childhood. I remember seeing adverts for Days on the TV, like Roxas and Shion. I remember seeing the Days strategy book, and I saw, like, I thought the panels were, like, Chain of Memories cards, so I went, like, ew, no. So I did not play Days on launch. But the next game to come out, I did. Birth by Sleep. So I had a PSP at the time. I used it a lot for, like, movies, like Tron, Spider-Man 1, and Sky High were PS1 movies I had, and I watched those, like, so much, especially Sky High. I also had, like, this is like around the time I was into Dragon Ball as well. So I had Dragon Ball Z Shin Budokai and Dragon Ball Z Tenkaichi Tag Team for the PSP, as well as the SpongeBob game, the Yellow Avenger. I remember my dad showing me this website for Birth by Sleep. So this must have been like 2010, 2009. And like it showed off the worlds. I remember seeing like Land of Departure. I remember seeing Disney Town with like I saw Pete. Like, why did he look weird? You know, not knowing it was Captain Justice. Or yeah, it was one of the Captain Justice personas. So I played Birth by Sleep when it came out. Uh, I have very, very strong nostalgia connections to Birth by Sleep. And no matter what I will say about the game in the future, most likely negative, I cannot deny that fact that there is a lot of affection in my heart for that game. um, let's see. After that, I don't remember when I beat Birth by Sleep. I remember specifically I chose Aqua's first route as the first route. I guess because she was the Keyblade Master. But I remember when I got to the Keyblade Graveyard, I stopped and went to like Terra and Ventus's routes. And I didn't play Final Episode until years later. I know that much. I may have been the stories and not know about Final Episodes because the Xehanort reports are in such stupid locations. More than that whenever I get to Birth by Sleep like a year from now. I don't know. Coded. I also Birth by Sleep. I think I also saw advertisements on the TV. Recoded. I was aware of the phone versions through G4 because they had a. That's what I believe through G4 and like those shows back when I was a kid. And the only Kingdom Hearts game they ever really touched about was on Kingdom Hearts Coded, the mobile version. As for Recoded, well, technically, okay. So, I didn't play it launch year, but I played it the next year. So, 2012 was around the time I was getting to, like, 2011 to 2012. That's when I got into YouTube. That's when I got into Let's Plays and all that. I was watching this one guy whose name I forgot, KH2's Let's Play. And he mentioned that Dream Drop Distance has come out in Japan. So, it was sometime. So, Dream Drop Distance came out in Japan in March 2012. And in America at the end of July 2012, the same year. I believe so, yeah. I don't think it was the next year thing, no. Cage Games did take quite a long time to localize, but not that long, unless you count the funnel mixes. So, I was excited for Dream Drop Distance. I was ready, I wanted it, so I got a 3DS for my birthday or like the end of school year, and then I also got Days Encoded. So I fully played Days and Recoded, that summer leading up to Dream Drop Distance. So like I was caught up, and I played Dream Drop Distance when it came out, and I even got the fucking Nintendo DS 10th Anniversary Edition. Whenever I get to DDD, I'm gonna show you this box like in full because I don't feel like doing massive editing for this video. I've already edited a lot this week. Yeah. So let's look at the game. So KH1, I know after a while I inherited KH1 and I started playing those games, and especially KH2 like every summer. So KH1 and KH2, 2004 skipped COM. 2006 probably was when I first fully exposed to KH2. Birth by Sleep and BDD I played at launch. Days Encoded I played back to back to back with DDD. And then the PS3. So we get to 1.5 plus 2.5. No, first 1.5. I really wanted it. And I think I got a PS3 2013 Christmas. Because 1.5 had come out a few months earlier. Yeah. And then, yeah, specifically a Christmas gift, I remember that. And I got into that, played that, and then I played 2.5 when it came out in 2015, I believe. And I was also made aware of Chi at the time. Union Cross, Unchained Key, whatever you want. So I was aware, I followed it. That 2015 is when my shift in like my opinions in Kingdom Hearts really happened. Because I got into the streamer Biscuit 047 and Bloody Biscuits, but I'll discuss that more later. So, we were coming up to the release of the PS4 ports and 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue. What a name. So, we didn't have a PS4 at the time, but I remember one day, it's 2016, I walked into my parents' bedroom and I saw my dad had gotten a PS4. I'm like, what the fuck? When did we get this? And like, unlike the PS3, which was like in the family room / AKA like it was given to me even though my dad used it a lot. The PS4 was in the parents' room, and it was specifically my dad's, but I was able to play 2.8 when it came out launch, and also the yeah, because 2.8 I came out launch. It was there in early 2017, very depressive time for my life. We'll cover that maybe one day. I don't know. I don't feel like trauma dumping now. um, and then from this point on, like any Kingdom Hearts game came out, like I played right away. So I got the PS4 ports, and I watched in horror as the PS4 ports were a disaster until they finally got patched summer 2017 to an acceptable state. And then, of course, the K3 full media swing and hype. And, of course, K3, I played day one. I own 4 copies of that video game, which may shock some of you if you know my opinions on Kingdom Hearts 3. And Melody of Memory, I played as soon as possible. Dark Road, I have not played. I don't feel like touching. I probably will never touch, especially since it's delisted now. And KH4, I'm probably going to play on release. So that's like a quick little synopsis recap of my experience with Kingdom Hearts. So yeah, I'm just gonna use this last part of the video as a kind of an update. I'm sorry videos went off for a longer time. I got sick with a terrible stomach bug that knocked me out for a week. So I had to take another extra week to plan my new playthroughs. But now that my new playthroughs are coming out, Higurashi, Rechain of Memories and Higurashi Chapter 3 should be done and over with, like, relatively soonish. After that, I'm gonna plan to try streaming Sonic Adventure 1, Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic Heroes, Sonic Forces, and Shadow the Hedgehog in the, like, 10 days left I have before Sonic X Shadow Generations come out. Because I am gonna be covering that game. This is my Sonic era. And this weekend, I'm recording this Friday, and you'll be seeing this Sunday. I'll be seeing the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth Orchestra, so I may have a little spiel about that. I'm also gonna avoid any other trailers for Sonic X Shadow Gens, to the best of my ability. So yeah, that's what things are gonna look from now. I hope you guys look forward to what I have planned coming in October and November. So until then, have a gay old time, y'all. Peace.